Good morning.
We are live. Okay, we're
Woohoo!
we're live, and here's Teresa. Oh,
It's pumpkin
did you get a
season.
new
I
shirt?
did. I went to the craft fair with my mom this weekend and I wasn't going to buy anything. And then I'm like, oh, I need a new pumpkin shirt for fall. I only have one fall shirt. So, I mean,
It's like you're saying it's okay that you purchased
yes,
that,
and
but
this is my color. And so, yeah.
oh, it is. It looks really cute. I like it.
Thank
Pumpkin
you.
season's perfect. All right. Well, good morning,
Good
everybody. I'm
morning.
Kelly, and you just met Teresa.
Yes.
And Janet's here, and we're at Memory Bound Paper Craft Store in Ankeny, Iowa. I'll give you a
Yay.
little view of our.
Our
There's our little
studio.
studio sign in our studio, and look at here. We're
I
Teresa, do
got a
you
lot
want to
of
tell us
stuff.
a little bit about what we're doing today? Because look at this table. It's lots happening.
Yes, well, Tim is coming out with the oxides in the little mini squares. I don't know what to call them. Is that what they're called?
Little
Mini
cubes.
squares?
Yeah, little minis.
Cubes? Yeah. Ink pads. Ink pads. That's what they are. And so he came out with 1 through 6, and now we're at 7 through 12. And I decided I'm going to buy them all. I don't have all the colors in the regular size oxides, and he said he would never do the small, and then they were able to change the pad and get the formula so they could make small, and I got really excited. And so I'm going to buy them so I have all the oxide colors, which is very exciting for me
That
too.
we can tell. We can tell you're very excited about
Because
that.
occasionally I won't have a color that I want, and then yeah, so now I'm going to have them all. The next 12 or 6
6.
sets will come out in November, and then we'll be done buying them.
Then you'll
So
have them all.
then I'll have them all, and
Well,
I'll be
I have to
happy.
confess, I bought the first 6 sets, and I
Yes,
have them in my tin, just like you do.
yes.
I don't have the second 6 sets yet. Boy, that's a lot of s. But I'll probably be getting those soon. And we
Yeah.
have them all, so you can get them here at Memory Bound. And I believe Janet has already linked them, Teresa. She's so
Okay.
on the ball.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about oxide inks a little bit today and do a technique.
And I'm excited because I use the oxides really pretty
Yeah.
much for the first time this last week. So I'm more of a
Yeah.
distressor,
I go back and
distress
forth
inks.
really, but I'm excited to have the small minis, and I find myself reaching for those a lot now. So,
Well, and that's what's nice now that they're in the minis. You can
yeah.
try them. So you can
Mm-hmm.
get a set and try them
Yeah,
to see how you like
that's a
them.
good point. And you'll have a color range. We'll show you
All right, we're
the
going to show you all
sets.
of that.
Yeah.
Before we do that, we have a few announcements, and I'm going to hand the camera over to
Okay.
Teresa. So I'm going to give that to Teresa, and then I got to get my notes, Teresa, because I got to make sure. Let's see, where should we be? Let's be over here at the Tim
Okay.
Holtz ideology, because if you
Ah,
are a Tim Holtz fan or you follow Tim Holtz, he was on this past weekend and he showed all of the holiday ideology and
yes.
talked about it. And we have it all in stock here at Memory
I
Bound.
know.
Even some of last year's that's discontinued, we have.
I know.
So,
I watched and I wanted to do Christmas.
well, I
But I'm
know
still in Halloween
we hate
mode.
to skip Halloween.
I know.
But one thing we're not going to skip is Wednesday is Memory
Woohoo!
Bound's 24th anniversary.
Yes.
24 years, you
I
guys.
know.
I know there's
It's
probably
amazing.
another craft store or two that have been around that long, or maybe a few years longer, but I think that's pretty good. And I'm really
Yeah.
proud of it. Did we think we'd be open 24 years when we opened? No, but here we are. We're still here. So what we're doing for that is on Wednesday, we're going to have all of our stamps and dies 24%
Oh
off.
my gosh. Do I work Wednesday?
I think you
Yes, I
do. I
do.
believe you do work Wednesday. So it's going to be really busy. The stamps and dies are something that costs a little bit more, and they're fun to have, and they're so important in our crafting these days that I thought that would be a great special to have
It
for our
is.
anniversary.
That is awesome.
So stay tuned for that. Now, if you're out there looking and shopping, if you put it in your cart before the sale starts, the discount won't apply. So either put it on your wish list or put it in your cart, but on Wednesday you need to take it out and put it back in to make sure you get that 24% off, because we want to make sure you all get it. And it's just the way our system works. We can't do anything about that. It's got to be on sale when you put it in your cart. All right, then okay, another thing about our anniversary. So what we're
Yes.
doing on Wednesday, I thought it'd be really fun to talk about how your crafting has changed in the last 24
Oh
years
my
or 5
gosh.
years or however long you've been crafting. So think about that. There's a post right on Facebook, And it says to write in the comments how your crafting has changed, because it's changed a lot since we opened our
Yes, it
doors here at
has.
Memory Bound. And I'll try to come up with some of the things that I can think of that I know have changed greatly since we opened our doors.
Okay.
All right, then Saturday, and I forgot to bring this, is World Card Making Day. And we have a couple of stamp sets that are going to be on special that are great verbiage for cards. And those are going to be on special. And I didn't bring those either, but I'll show them. I'll bring them tomorrow. And
Okay.
then we are doing a card making craft along on Saturday. So Saturday at 9 to 11, we're going to be crafting along, making the all wrapped up Christmas cards from Simple Stories. So if you got that card
Awesome.
kit or you want to get it, I'm sure Janet is linking it right now.
Yes.
Or probably when I was thinking it, she was linking it
She linked
because she's
it.
really good. So we'll have a craft along for World Card Making Day, a few specials, and that is coming up on Saturday. It is a busy week
Yes,
in the craft
definitely.
world and here at Memory Bound, especially with our anniversary. Okay, then I got one more thing to tell you about, and I'm
Okay.
really, really proud that we can do this. We're going to have, I guess, a drive you might call, and it's to help the youth, the Iowa Homeless Youth Centers, and that is Chris that works here. She's in shipping. If you're a long distance customer, she has sent you many packages. I hope. And Chris has worked here a while, and her son works for the organization, and they're in need of things. But I want to tell you a little bit about it. It's the IHYC, and it's for homeless youth that are 16 to 24. And, you know, a lot of the homeless youth that are younger than that are in the foster program, but then kids age out and they have nowhere to go. And we don't think about those people very often or those kids. And you guys, honestly, I'm so naive. You know, you see things in movies, but it's really happening here. And these are for the local Des Moines people. And they've got a couple programs that are really super wonderful for this age. And I'm going to tell you about there's two of them. And then I'm going to tell you about the things that if you want to help, how you can help out and how Memory Bound is helping out. So one of them is called the Lighthouse Program, and that's for families like unwed mothers that have no place to go, and their ages 16 to 24, and they can live with their kids they have lighthouse duplexes where they can live and mainly be safe. I think the whole idea of the organization is to keep people safe.
Oh,
And you know, when you're on the streets, Teresa, I've never lived on the streets. Have you ever lived on the
no.
streets?
But you really can't do anything if you're not safe. The rest of your
Exactly.
life doesn't make sense. So,
Exactly.
got to be safe.
So they give them a safe living environment. There are classes that they can go to, skills training, and then as they're working and earning, part of that money goes into savings, which they save for them, and then they give them when they're ready to move out. So the other, so that's for the moms that don't have a place to go with and their kids. Then the other one is called rapid rehousing, and that's for the 16 to 24-year-olds that have nowhere to go. I can't imagine not
Oh,
having a place to go. I mean, I've always had relatives and family or
right.
grandparents or somewhere to go, but there are those people that have nowhere to go. And so what they do is they find low income housing for these I I guess should we call them kids? I'm
Yeah.
at the age where I can easily call an 18 or a 24-year-old a
Yes.
kid. So they help them get their own apartment and a lease in their name and get jobs, and they help them get the things they need to live independently. Things like I mean, it's hard to believe, but things like towels and, you know, toothbrushes
Mm-hmm.
and things like that. And then they also will have jobs, and then they also have training. So they might have a class on how to handle your finances or different life skills, how to get a job, and they do make sure that they all get their GEDs because you can't really go too many places or too far in life without your GED. So then the other thing, so I'm going to tell you some of the things that you can bring to Memory Bound, and we also have, and we'll post all of this on Facebook,
Okay.
and we'll have signs here, but we also have a QR code.
Oh,
If you wanted to donate, they have an Amazon wish list that you can donate to, and there's also the Reggie's. Have you heard of the Reggie's? Is it Camp Out?
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sleep Out, the Reggie Sleep Out. I think our daughter did that at the Drake University football field. you can come and spend the night and you're out in the open like you were homeless. And I think you bring sleeping bags, and sometimes they might make a shelter out of cardboard, but they all spend the night, and that's their biggest fundraiser. But let me tell you about what you can do to help out if you'd like to help us help them. Things they need are going to be your basic hygiene like shampoo, conditioner, deodorant, soap, toothbrush, toothpaste, nail clippers, razors, hairbrushes, textured or ethnic hair care supplies, nail polish. I mean, I take that for
Mm,
granted. I probably
yeah.
got 8 bottles in my bathroom drawer. And then also they need things like for their homes, like kitchen utensils, plastic cups or plastic bowls, or a pan with a lid, the very basics for their kitchens. And of course, clothes are always important, including underwear, various sizes, bras, sport bras, socks, t-shirts, all sizes of things, because people come in all sizes, and homeless people come in all sizes too. And then this is what really surprised me was bath towels,
Mm,
because
yeah.
if they are living independently, they need bath towels and hand towels and laundry soap. And you can also get gift cards to like Walmart or Target or Casey's if you'd want to bring a gift card. And then fun things like coloring books, activity books, card games, cards. So those are some of the things that we're going to be collecting through October 15th. So you can bring them in if you're local and you want to donate something, bring it in. We would love that. I will post the QR codes, and I will post the list of what they need. And then, hey, Chris, do you want to come out? We'll have Chris come out so you can meet her in case I missed anything. And they do have a place, they call it the free store, where people can go and get those home goods like towels, and they can even get like a couch or a chair. So I thought maybe we. Oh, Chris is overheating. Well, we got to I'll fix the thermostat. So that you probably know Chris.
Hello.
She's been here with us, and she's a very key person here. And do you want to talk about your son, or do you have anything to add?
You did a good job. I was
Did I do
listening in the
okay?
back. Yes, my son's worked there for 25 years.
25?
I know, right? He
Wow.
started as a volunteer and then went full time. So it's near and dear to us.
Well, it's a great program, and I think it takes care of those people that get lost.
Exactly.
They're
Yep.
get lost through the cracks. They're not the young kids in the foster program and things. So
Right. And like you said, a lot of the kids that come in have aged out of the foster care system. And you don't think about that. I didn't until he started working there
right.
anyway. So yeah, it's a great program.
Do the towels and clothes and dishes have to be new?
Dishes, no. Towels, if they're gently used, that is fine. Clothes, no. Well, underwear, yeah.
And socks, probably. New
Yes,
socks
yes,
too.
yeah.
And bras.
They
Yeah.
appreciate that if undergarments are new, but outerwear, by all means, no. If it's gently used, great. Um, they're just kind of glad to have anything. There's a free store that they get to go to and get, but they only get 2 sets of towels. Most of the low income housing don't have washing machines there, so then they have to go someplace. They don't have cars. So you're schlepping your stuff on the bus, which they do.
Yeah.
But if they get an extra set of towels, it goes a long ways.
I think something simple like towels we take for granted.
Yep. Oh, I do. Yeah.
So well, thank you, Chris.
Yes,
And I'm
thank
really
you for
glad that you brought this to our attention so that we can help out here at Memory Bound and our customers that want to help somebody.
Well, exactly. I appreciate you running with this.
Well,
I brought it to
absolutely.
Kelly and she was like, "What? Yes, I'll do that."
Of course.
So any donation is appreciated. And if you can't, just keep them in mind for when you can.
Absolutely. Thank you, Chris. So that's what we've got going on here through October 15th. And I will post more information on here on our Facebook page so that we're like blah 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 blah, and they could use this and they could use that. So you'll know exactly what they
Yep.
need. So thank you,
Okay.
Chris, for bringing this up and letting us get involved in it. All right, now are we ready for something crafty, Teresa?
Sure.
All right, I'm going to take the camera.
Okay.
By
We're
Teresa.
collecting through the 15th.
Yeah, it's through October 15th. If you want to help out this group of people that don't have homes or places to live, or are not need a safe place. Okay, I'm spinning around, Teresa. Now I'm just doing a spin.
You're spinning?
I'm doing a spin while you get together. While you
Okay.
get your stuff together. Okay, there's our computer right there, guys. This is what we look at when we're, this is what we look at. All right, well, let's go back. You guys probably don't want to look at our computer, but let's get over here to Teresa and
I'll
let's,
sit here while the camera's on me.
okay. Well, tell us what's going on now,
Okay.
Teresa. We've had a lot of announcements.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about the mini Distress Oxides today. So there's 72 colors, and he's going to take it from the regular size down to the small size. And I don't even have a regular size to show you
I'll
the
get one.
difference.
I'll
I
get
didn't
one.
even think about that.
What color do you want, Teresa? Tell me a
It
color.
doesn't matter. And so he's coming out with sets, and he came out with 1 through 6, the first release, and now this release is 7 through 12. And yeah, there, I'll just show you. This is candied apple, which you're lucky you picked one that we actually have. Kelly, good job.
All right.
So there's the size difference. So it's about a fourth of the size difference. And they're really handy for travel because they fit into these cute little tins. You can see here, I'm going to see how much they are. They're $11.99 for the tins, and they hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 12. So they hold 2 packages of the new release. So you need 3 tins.
Don't they hold 3 packages, don't they?
Oh yeah, they do. Sorry, miscalculation.
We're doing math on Monday. Math
I
on
can't do
Monday
math.
morning.
You guys know I can't do math. Yeah, yeah. So you need 2 tins if you get all the sets. 4 so far, so you'll need 6 total. So I have to get 2 more. But so the size difference is nice for being able to travel as opposed to the bigger ones and the bigger tins. I'm very excited to be able to take all the colors with me.
I know you are.
So
I love
much
it.
nicer for travel. Then the other thing that I want to show you is that because they are smaller, and if you use them, you might have to re-ink them because the pad is much smaller. There's going to be much less ink in there. And so we do have all the re-inkers for the oxides. And the oxides, the re-inkers have a gray top on them, where the regular ones have, they're a different bottle. And then they also have the little ball in them that you have to shake it up to.
Look, I brought candied apple
You
for
got
them.
candied
Oh, you've
apple?
got them all. Oh my gosh. Okay. I went
You
and got a
brought-
re-inker, but
yeah.
I didn't realize you had re-inkers in your
Yeah,
tin.
this is my one set that's full, and
I want to
I'm
get
probably
close up on that, Teresa.
I'm probably
That's
gonna
really
have
cool.
to get another one because these are just the colors that I use the most in the big inks. But now that I'm using the small ones, I'm probably gonna have to get more inks to use. And this is the tin. The tin is $13.99, and it has 2 inserts in it. One is for paint, so this will hold paint or the re-inkers, and it'll hold the regular re-inkers as well.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, and it's called the multi-storage tin if you're looking for that. I'm sure Janet's linking it, but
Yeah.
I don't need to show it, but yeah, it's handy. And it's a bigger tin because it holds the paints as well, but you don't have to take this with you everywhere that you go.
Re-ink before you go, right?
Yes, re-ink before you go. So these are all my inks, and I've got them in rainbow order, of course.
You're very organized.
I know. And Tim was he was doing an interesting thing. He has, of course, all the regular inks in the minis. So he was putting a mini distress ink and then the oxides together.
Oh, interesting.
Because he uses them a lot together. I don't have a lot of the mini regulars, so I won't be doing that. I'll just be doing rainbow order. But you can kind of figure out the next colors to come because you don't have them yet. So that's what he was saying, because then I'll have to take them out and move them, but I don't care. I like them in rainbow order. At first I just had them by set, but then I decided I
put
didn't
mine
want to
in
do
rainbow
that.
order.
Did you? Yeah.
So
Okay.
earlier when we just started the video, I mentioned that I really like these and I purchased them because I don't use oxide inks. I'm sorry to confess that, but I don't. I use mostly Distress.
That's okay.
but this was a good way to try them.
Yeah.
I got a set of these and to try them, and I really do like them. I use it on a new project, so
Yeah.
I like them.
It gives you a different look. They're softer, a little bit chalkier look. And so, should we show your project, Kelly, now? Or
Do you
wanna-
want to?
Yeah.
Well, we could. Here, I'll switch cameras.
Okay.
So I just mentioned that I use them really basically for the first time on this album.
Isn't this
It's a little
pretty?
spiral book for fall, and it's got lots of techniques in it, and it's a kit that isn't quite ready. Got the directions finished this weekend, and it's ready for your fall memories or
I can
autumn
see
memories.
lots of inking and stamping. I know those leaves are stamped. I know that's a stencil.
And it is different. Well, the kit, you're going to get 2 spiral books, and you get the stamp and stencil set called Leaf Prints, and you get paper and some tags and some twine and
Ooh, there's some. You did stamp
so
some leaves.
mhm.
Very pretty.
Yeah, so we'll be
Nice fall mini
I'd
album.
like to make it a video where you can actually craft along or learn the techniques in face to face, you might say.
Mhm.
So we're working on that, but that's just another example of oxide inks.
Yeah.
Barb says the oxide reinkers fit in the alcohol ink tins, which probably makes sense because they're the alcohol ink is probably about the same, possibly the same bottle. She said the
Okay.
oxide reinkers are not as tall as the distress reinkers. And Barb, I'm going to just put her comment up here so everybody
Okay.
can see.
So, one thing, I'll just go through the colors. One thing that I did for here at the store and for myself at home is I made swatches, and Tim talks about that a lot. And for me, it's so handy when I'm looking for a color to use on a project. I always go to my swatches, and so I decided since I have some other swatches, but I decided since I'm getting all the colors now, I would make new swatches.
Well, and thank you, Teresa, because
Yeah.
Memory Bound has swatches here, thanks to Teresa.
Yeah, so if you come into the store, this is the first set of 6, and then this is the second set. So I'll just go through Kitsch Flamingo, Saltwater Taffy, Candied Apple, Fire Brick, Dried Marmalade, Bright Persimmon, which I've really been using. I haven't used much, but for some reason now that it's in a mini, I've been using it. Wild Honey, Squeezed Lemonade, Twisted Citron. I've also been using a lot lately in oxides. I've been not using peeled paint as much. I've been using maybe it's the Halloween color for me. Rustic Wilderness, which I love. Evergreen Bough, Pine Needles, Speckled Egg, Tumbled Glass. That was Tumbled Glass. This is Mermaid Lagoon. That's Speckled Egg. I got them out of order. Faded Jeans. What was that one? Blueprint Sketch. Ooh, pretty. Victorian Velvet. I hardly ever use that one. I don't know why. Dusty Concord. Old Paper. That's not old paper. That's old paper. That's Gathered Twigs. I got these guys out of order too.
Teresa.
This is Frayed Burlap and Ground Espresso, and not last but not least, Hickory Smoke. So there's some very pretty colors. So, if you want, I'll just bring the other colors. So
yeah, and then we
has
have
them
questions. After you do that, we have some questions.
If you want to do it by color, that's how he kind of packaged them. So we got our reds and pinks, orange and yellows, greens, blues, kind of violets, and then neutrals. So there's packages in each set, and that's how he'll do the last set as well. So, all right, what were the questions?
Okay, Teresa, I want to say thank you to Barb because I tested the alcohol ink tin, and it does hold the re-inkers for the oxides, not necessarily for the regular distress inks, but for the oxides. So
that's $10.99.
So can you move it up just a little further? There we go. So you could use either one of those.
A little bit shorter, yeah.
Yeah, it's shorter.
We have both of these in stock, so.
Yep. And then we also have several people are asking, okay, I've lost questions now. Several people are, okay. All right, I'm back. Let me
Okay.
take a little breath. And there was a question about the Tim Holtz stamp and stencil sets, and they will be on special Wednesday. They're I just decided to go for it. It's our
Okay.
anniversary, so
I
yes,
had
those
that
are on
question
special.
myself, Kelly.
So we are
I
going to
was
put those
thinking
on
it.
special because what the
Okay.
heck. And then a lot of people, okay, Barb said she had to cram more reinkers in the same space to make room for some stuff. Okay, make room for the mini oxide pad tins. All right. Um, then they also, Donna says some brands, the minis pad is different and falls apart. What about these? Space and cost minis would be the best. Have you had any mini distress ink pads fall apart with
No. Do you mean like the
pad
pad
comes
comes
off?
off?
Yes.
No, I haven't had any problem. And and I made I made two swatches of these, and I actually took the pad and swiped and swiped. Each one of the butterflies I stamped twice because I wanted to be consistent. And some colors need two inkings, I think.
So that would be,
So when you take your ink pad and smash it and drag it like that, it was pretty good. So
and those
um,
are newer too.
yeah,
So I guess we have not had, I have seen ink pads where the
yeah,
felt came off, but
and
I
that
haven't
might
seen
be
it.
just a defective one, I
I
suppose.
haven't seen it on the minis,
Yeah,
but I guess that's a question if anybody has experienced that because she's saying space and cost, the minis would be a great deal because they
yes,
don't take up as much space
yep,
and they cost less than a full size.
yep.
So we'll see.
You might have to re-ink them more frequently, but
And Linda says that she colors the lids. I don't know if you want to kind of show the top of the lid. She'll color it so she knows what the color is when she's
yeah.
going to grab it, which is great. Um, Sandy wants to know what tags you used for your swatches.
Oh, I actually cut those myself. It was a Tim Holtz die. But we do have, Kelly, that one, yeah, would be really good. I almost use these Dina Wakley
This gives
tags.
you enough room where you could actually write the name of the color
Yeah.
on the front if you wanted to.
These 3-inch square tags from Dina Wakley, you get 20, and so that's about enough to do a set. And they're $6.99, and they are big enough. I just used a label printer, and I also put the number what set it was, but that's more for the store than anything and me when I'm crafting. But these would be really nice, I think, because you could stamp a nice image on the side. I just like to stamp an image because I just like to see what it looks
Yeah,
like on an image, I
that's
guess.
pretty
I don't
typical,
know.
I think, for
Yeah.
so
And
Teresa, we're also getting the classic question of the difference between an oxide and a regular
oh, yeah.
distress ink. And I've got some of both right there. So
Yeah.
we'll have Teresa. We might as well cover that because a lot of people are asking it.
Yeah. So there's the candied apple. I'm just gonna get the little one out since that's what we're talking about. And candied apple is in set number 7. You can see that they don't have the numbers on the packages, so we just labeled
Right.
them ourselves here so we know at the store what number we're talking about. So the oops, I always hit my head
I
on
had to
the
move it
camera
down.
now.
Do you want to move those ink pads up a little bit? Because they were off the screen. There we go.
There. So Distress ink is a dye ink, and it is water reactive. And the Distress Oxide is a mixture of pigment and dye. So when you look at the ink pad, the pad is going to be more firm compared to, I wonder if I have
I thought they were kind of mushy. The oxides were mushy.
yeah, I wonder if I don't have a,
Do you want me to
can
go
you
get a
grab
regular?
one? Yeah, just a regular one, and we can look at the pad. Well, they're felt. They're made of felt. And now I got red ink on my finger. So one difference is you can see that the container. I know that's not a big thing, but it is a big thing because um, you want to make sure that you get the right re-inker. So like I said, the oxides are gray, the regular Distress are in the black packaging, which he was very smart to do. Well, I guess they're both pretty firm. They're felt, if you can see it. Um, so you can see.
So did you
Where's my?
explain the differences between the inks already?
I'm kind of
You're
talking
getting
about
there.
it.
Okay.
Yeah. So the Distress is pigment or a dye ink, like I said, and the Distress is a mixture of pigment and dye. So what happens when you put the pigment in there and mix it with the dye is that it just takes a little bit longer for it to dry. For one, it reacts in a different way in that it's a little bit chalkier to look at. It also, when you use it and when it reacts with water, especially, it becomes more chalky. Also, when you stamp on darker colors, you're going to get a more true color for the ink color. So this is Rusty Hinge, and this is the oxide. And so if you were to use a regular Distress on the craft, it's not going to be quite as orange. And some colors are really not, especially if you're using it on black. That's probably a better example. When you stamp on black, the oxides, you're going to be able to see the color more than you would on the Distress. When I was saying the Distress take longer to dry, it's not like it takes a long time.
The oxide takes longer
Er,
to dry
Yeah, sorry. The oxide takes, I'm going to
because of the
confuse you
pigment.
guys.
It's
Yes,
got the pigment in it, the
right.
pigment ink, so that does take a little longer.
Yeah. So I always try and remember dye dries faster. So these dry faster. So if you're going to emboss, use embossing glaze, I would use the oxides because it takes longer for the ink to dry. For me, when I use the Distress, I can't get my glaze or my
It's not
embossing
really
powder.
made. It's a
Yeah,
fast drying and
yeah. This
because
is
of the
more
dye
fast
ink, so
drying.
you really can't do much of that with it.
Yeah.
And Janet just linked a demo that we had that talked about the differences
Oh, okay.
in the two.
Great.
So click on that or go back and click on that and it's got all the detail.
Can you think of anything else? Kelly,
Well,
did I
just
miss
I guess
anything?
the main difference, and you said this, I'm sure, is the dye ink is a dye water base and the
Right.
oxide is the dye and pigment
Pigment.
combined that the Ranger chemists were able to. I'm sure Tim Holtz, he's got his wants and things, and I'm sure he worked with them closely to
Yeah.
get this ink.
So you can see in the re-inker how the ink separates, and I'm sure that has to do with the pigment and the dye.
Yeah,
And then when you shake it,
be sure and shake it before you re-ink your ink pads. And you cannot mix. You cannot take a
oh,
blending tool.
that was the other thing. Yeah,
Go
I
ahead and
forgot
say
to
that.
say
You'll
that.
say it better than I
So
will.
when you're using your blending tool, I'm just going to open this one because I need it. I love these little mini ones, and
You
I was
do
going to
like
grab
the
one.
little minis.
I do.
Or tinies. That's the tiny,
The
not
tiny,
the mini.
yes. Good point, Kelly. So you can go from Distress to pigment, but you don't want to go from pigment to dye. So you can go this way and it won't be a problem. But if you use your oxide ink and your blending tool and then you decide to go over here on the dye ink, it's going to mess it up. So what I try and do is have one for the oxide and one for the Distress. Now that ends up with a lot of handles, but you can just peel them off.
Right, yeah.
So I have a little bag of, and gosh, I didn't bring it. I have a little bag of my Distress blending tools and all my little.
Is it one of those zipper bags?
Yeah, it's one of these little bags.
Oh, that's handy.
And I didn't bring it, yeah, because they fit right in here nicely. And so I just have.
And they're $1.99 and
yeah, it's
they're
a
good for a lot of
store
they're good for a lot of things.
But yeah, so I just try not to to mix. Like I said, you can go from distress to oxide, but then you're like, oh, then I use the oxide. I can't go back to distress because then your pigment ink will get on your ink pad and it just messes it up. It's not going to kill it or anything.
Well, you can wipe it
but
off.
you can wipe it off, but it's
That's
not
what
a
I
good,
would do.
yeah, if you accidentally do it, which I have done,
And
you
you'll
can
know
wipe
it
it off.
because the
You'll be
color
able
will
to
kind
see
of
it.
float on
Yeah,
top of
it
your
kind
pad.
of floats, and that's kind of what the pigment ink does. Pigment ink kind of floats. That's what Tim talks about. The ink kind of floats on the surface as opposed to the dye ink really soaking in. I would say that the dye inks are also a little bit more vibrant, bright, a little bit brighter colors.
Yeah, they are.
Than the oxides.
They aren't exactly the same colors.
No, they're a little different because one is pigment and dye.
Kimberly
and
keeps hers separate. She doesn't in separate, and then there's no possibility of contamination.
Yes,
so good idea.
Yeah. All right. Were there any other questions?
No, I think we're ready to go on. But thanks for your questions.
Yeah, those are good questions.
Because other people probably have the same questions, and honestly, sometimes we don't think about things. We just roll.
And I forget. I was going to tell you that, and then I forgot, and then Kelly said it. I'm like, oh yeah, that. So I did use on all my cards today. I used the Tim Holtz Stamp and Die, which is going to be on sale on Wednesday, I guess. And this is THMM 195. And this is one of the sets that these pumpkins, these are kind of new images.
Yeah, those are new.
When he released them with some other ones, and I just love the pumpkins, and so I had to get this set, and I just went a little crazy with it because I love making Halloween cards. So I kind of showed you this one already. I'm going to just grab my Post-it notes.
And that's actually called Eekaboo. They do have names, but that one's called Eekaboo.
Where do you get the names?
They're not on the packages, but they're online.
Okay. Eekaboo?
Mm-hmm.
I like it. All right. Well, obviously, you've seen me. I put this one on a wobble, and I just fussy cut. Isn't National Fussy Cutting Day coming up too, Kelly?
It is Saturday or the 25th of October.
25th. Oh, that's a ways away. So I fussy cut this. Some ladies were in the other day, and they were like, "Did you use a dye?" And I said, "No, I just fussy cut it, and then I inked around the edges." Oops, my wobble's wobbling there. We do have two sizes of wobbles. We've got a 12 pack of the
wobbles.
Small one. I do too. And then this one is a multi-pack of large and small. So we've got those.
I don't know why, because wobbles and weebles, the words are kind of the same. They're nothing to do each other, but wobbles, wobble, but they don't fall off. Maybe we could say that, something like that.
So I used, I used some colors that weren't in here. Rusty Hinge, Spice Marmalade, and Black Soot.
So they're probably in the other set.
Yes, this one I used from set number 2. I guess I made this card before the new ones came out. So this one, although, Black Soot's in number 6. But I used a variety of different oranges, which is nice when they come in packages like that. So
you did use different oranges on that? Okay.
Yep. So the background is the Rusty Hinge, I know, and then the Spice Marmalade, and this is Rusty Hinge, and then the Spice Marmalade I did with this little pumpkin, and I stamped the stars in the background. Use the boo, and then I did splat it with some black too.
Oh, that's right, because the stars are part of the stamp set.
Yep, the stars. So in the stamp set, you get stars, and then you get these little dots, and then they're nice because there's two sizes, 2 parts to the stencil.
Do you want to show the back? It might show better on the back.
Oh, how's that? That does look better, doesn't it?
Well,
I know. I was like,
somebody told me that. I didn't. I was showing them once, and I think it was Katie told me to flip them over.
Yeah. I could take mine out of the package, and I do have this. I can't remember what they are. The honeybee packaging that I use, the slimline storage. It's $13.99, and you get 10. But then the problem is you have to buy 10 of these, which I have done.
Yes, she has.
Yes.
I remember you were trying to
Yes, I was
fill
like,
your
okay, I
envelopes.
have 2 empty ones. I need to buy 2 more.
I need to pick out 2 more.
Yeah, so those are the stamps and the stencils.
Those are so good, those new ones.
Yeah, it's fun. All right, so that was that one. That's just a regular card. Okay, I must have made that one before, so hopefully this one's with the new colors. Yes, this one's with the new colors.
It doesn't matter. We like all the
Let me get
colors. The couple people, Kathy and I can't remember who else, and it already moved by. Heidi, and you've seen that where you have the mini pads and you store your foam. You can't use the
Oh,
tiny blending tool. I don't think. I think it's too thick. But if you use the mini blending tool, then you can store your foam right on the back
okay.
if you put a piece of Velcro. And that's a great tip.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are talking about weebles wobble, but they don't fall down.
Okay, so this one I used the ripe persimmon, which is a new color, and dusty concord, which isn't my go-to purple. So it was fun to try new
Looks
colors.
good on there with the other colors.
Yeah. And then I used the squeeze lemonade, which I love. I wish there were more yellows, but I'll take my squeeze lemonade. And then hickory smoke I used. And this card is a technique where you stamp the image and then you take one of your blending tools and you just go over it with the blending tool. And there doesn't have to be any ink in it. The point is just to make it kind of smeary. And so I did that with the stars. The stars is what I stamped hickory smoke with.
Oh, okay.
And
I
I
was
just
wondering.
filled in. Yeah, that's hickory smoke. And then I just used a different blending tool, of course, for each color. And you don't have to have a blending tool for every color, but I have them for the families. And you can always just, wipe your blending tool on your microfiber cloth in between if you're using 2 different color oranges. But if you want to have different ones for each color, then that, you do you, like Tim says.
And you can do this with the oxides because of the pigment. It doesn't dry.
Right.
I don't know that you could do that with the regular Distress. Have you ever tried it?
You
I
probably
don't know if it
could,
would
but I
dry.
think it works out much better with the oxides. It gives it that smeary, chalky look I really like. All right. That one
Shannon
was
likes
fun.
the crafter's rationale that you need to fill the envelope so you have to buy more product.
Yes, definitely. All right. This one, I just made the background and then I stamped on the pumpkins and my sentiment on there. And then it's really hard to see. I'm going to go
Did you go
really
over it then with
close.
more ink?
Well, the pumpkins I did.
Okay.
I went over it. So the colors I used, I used number 9. I used Twisted Citron, Rustic Wilderness, and Pine Needles. All 3 colors. So then I actually used a colored pencil of Twisted Citron and went over the pumpkins with that because I like to color with my colored pencils.
So your watercolor pencil?
Yes,
and
my
then did you
watercolor
water it? Did you go over it with water then?
Well, I made the background first,
Right.
and then I stamped my images. Yes. Oh, and I colored in. Yes, I
So
colored.
you
Yes.
okay.
So I was layering colors.
Okay.
So I made the background.
I really like that. It makes them stand out, but not stand out. Do you know what I mean?
And then what I really was trying to show you there.
Yeah.
Can you
there
see
it is. Yeah.
Can you see the chevron?
Uh-huh.
So Tim had a technique where I'm just going to lay this down, where he sprayed the stencil and then put it down on there and then took a paper towel and dabbed, and so it pulls some of the color off through the stencil.
Oh.
And so that's where you get that little bit of chevron.
I love that.
It just adds a layer.
It's really cool. I love that
I
technique.
did it down here too at the bottom. I didn't do it where the pumpkins were. I just did some on the bottom and some on the top. So it just adds a little bit.
It does.
And it really depends on the stencil you know, that you use which effect that you're going to get, how much you're
But
going
I
to
love how you
see
did
it.
that, how you
Yeah.
got that busy background, but then when you watercolored the pumpkins on
Yeah.
top of it,
Yeah.
it's
It's
really
kind of
cool.
fun. You can still see the background, you know, the little splatches of
Mhm.
how I just did that, made my background. But then with the watercolor, the pencil is really pigment. And so it kind of is on, floats on top, like I said. And then, of course, I splattered it with black. I
Of
couldn't help
course.
myself. I think I splattered all these cards almost with the black.
They need a good splattering.
Yeah. All right. So I had to use the cat. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to use the cat. And so I made a purple cat. Oops, I got to put my post-it notes back so I remember what colors were used. Sorry, guys. Okay. This one, I used number 11. I used the villainous. Oh no, villainous potion isn't in this one. Yeah, villainous potion is in the first set. It's in set number
When you have
5.
them all, Teresa,
I know it
it's
was
hard to keep
hard for
them.
me just to use the new colors. I tried, but I needed a darker purple to go with the Dusty Concord. And Villainous Potion and Dusty Concord, I think they look really nice together. So the cat was Villainous Potion, and then the chevron and the stars were the shaded lilac. And then I splatted it. But I thought that this guy looked like he was just stretching or scratch. You know, when cats scratch the when they scratch. I thought it made me think of that with the little chevron. And I would say eek if my cat was doing that. So, all right. This card, I got a little special, and I used the dot part of the stencil. And I just used part of it up here and part of it down here. I stamped the pumpkin and then I did the stencil kind of around the pumpkin where I didn't want to go on the pumpkin. I just wanted above and below. And I actually used the new Tim Holtz Twinkle texture paste. And I showed that a couple days ago. And so you can see, I don't know if you can see it. Let's see. Oh, a little black glitter would be fun on the cat. But I'm trying to get there. Can you see it? I didn't do it on all the dots. There's some right up here. You can see it glittering. And over here, it's glittering. And so the twinkle is really a holographic look. So what I did is I put my stencil on there, and then I inked, and then I went back and I used my palette knife and I just added a little twinkle to some. I didn't do them all. I just did a couple random. So it's just kind of random sparkling. I know it's hard.
Oh,
Maybe when
there it shows. Yeah, when you
yeah, you
turn it
can
like
kind
that, it
of
looks
see it
really
that
good.
way. The other thing that I did with this pumpkin is I stamped him with black archival ink, and then I cleaned my ink off, and then I stamped him again with, I was using peacock feathers, which is not in the new set. Peacock feathers is in set number 4.
Or you could get the big one. I mean,
Yeah,
we're showing you the minis, but we have all of these in the full size.
yeah. So what I did is I stamped it with the black archival ink, and then I left my stamp where it was, and then I inked it with the peacock feathers. But when I put my stamp on the stamp platform, I inked it, and then I gave it a little spray, so it was kind of watercolory. So you can see how it's kind of watercolory. So it smooshed out when it's stamped on top of the archival. So it kind of gave it a little shadowy look, I think. I kind
I
of like
wonder if
that.
you put the archival ink on top of that, what it would look like. If you did that and
Yeah,
then did
you
your
could
archival,
restamp it.
that'd be kind of neat
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, I think I stamped it a couple times with the black then, because you can see how it kind of went up here.
Teresa, people are really liking your cards.
Oh,
I just
good,
want you to know that. We're getting lots of really nice comments.
good. And then I did use Tiny Frights. That's a Tim Holtz stamp for the sentiment.
Oh, that's a cute one too.
I
Look at
love
that.
this stamp set. Mainly I love it because of the owl
Yeah.
and the autumn vibes. I got it to use for the fall and the little leaf. The Halloween ones are very cute as well. Of course, I love all Halloween, but I'm like, oh my gosh, it's an owl. I mean, there aren't a lot of fall stuff.
It's a really cute owl too.
Yeah, but I did like the trick or treat. I thought that was fun, so I wanted to use a different stamp, so I did.
Teresa, Diane has a comment
Yeah.
about Tim Holtz and how he uses glossy accents a lot of times
Yeah,
for his glitter.
he does.
And you do too.
Yes,
That's how Teresa does glitter.
I do because I think it makes it shiny. If you miss a spot of glitter,
Then you still
the
have your
glossy
shine.
accent still has the shine. Yes. All right. This is the last card that I made, and this is another kind of Tim Holtzy idea. And the cat I used again with just black archival, and it says, I planned my whole day around the possibility of a nap. And of
Jeez.
course, that is from the.
That sounds like somebody that works here.
Yeah, that's from the snarky small talk from Tim Holtz, and I love these. I'm always flipping through, thinking, what can I use those with to make
It's
a funny
perfect
card?
with that cat stamp.
Yeah, because he looks like he's stretching. I know my dog stretches like that when he gets up from a nap,
Yeah.
and so it made me think of that. So I'm going to show you the technique of how I made this, but I just want to tell you, this one I did use the new colors. I used candied apple, which we've been talking about, and I used squeezed lemonade and ripe persimmon and rustic wilderness. So I'm going to show you right now how I did that. I'm going to move all these packages out of the way. And I just did a rainbow because I thought that was a fun,
I like it.
a fun background. And I had a blue too, but I didn't have room to use blue. And I thought about using purple, but I didn't have room for purple either. So it was a limited space. Oh, I should say that I used watercolor on my cards, except for this one. I used the heavy craft cardstock that Tim Holtz has because I like that when I do watercolory stuff. All right, so this is the watercolor paper that I have. And here's my stencil. And I'm going to pull some colors. Okay, I should probably use the new colors.
Yes, use something different.
Let's see.
Teresa, when you get done with this, we have a fly by the seat of your pants demo that we need to do. We have questions about mixing, say, the 49 and Market inks with the Tim Holtz Distress inks. And I went and got some for you to show us.
Okay. I'm going to use the blues because I got the wrong tin here. Okay, so what do we got? We got speckled egg, tumbled glass, mermaid lagoon, and faded jeans. I don't know if I'm going to use all four, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so I've got my watercolor paper, my stencil, I've got my spray bottle, and I've got a paper towel. I've got
I'm anxious to see this because I wish I would have done this in my little book.
Well, you could probably go back and do it, Katie.
I might have to. Well, yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the speckled egg and I'm going to start. And sometimes when you have these that have two, you might use your yellow tape just to mask off, but I'm just going to go for it. So it's the nice thing about the small ones is you can do this. You can put it right onto your stencil. So that's what I did. I just swiped across the stencil because they're small. You can't do that with the big one. And we're just going to see what these colors look like together. I think I'm going to be able to get all four. I guess I used 4 on the other one, so I don't know why. It surprises me that I could get 4 on here. And I just swipe across. And you can do this with any stencil. I just thought it was fun with the chevron. I love chevron. All right. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my spray bottle and I'm just going to give it some squirts so that it's runny. And then I've got my watercolor paper and I'm just going to flip it over And I'm just going to
Oh, I
lay it
can't wait
down
to
where I
see
want
this.
it. And then I'm just going to take the paper towel just to soak up some of the excess water that's there. And I'm also going to clean my area because that was driving me crazy that there was ink on there. And then I'm just
Here's
going to
the
bring it up.
reveal. Ooh, that's
Ooh.
so cool.
And then I have my, oh, where's my tiny handle?
Your handle it.
Yes, my handle it. I know I have it in here somewhere.
Teresa's going over to her go bag. So the handle it tool from Ranger is handy. I call them Mickey Mouse hands.
Yes.
But they're
Because,
also like $3. They're $3 or $4,
yeah,
so they're very inexpensive.
because if you have it down here, it takes longer to dry. That's why I'm. If you hold it up in the air with your handlets, then the heat goes through the paper and it dries faster.
Teresa, your cards today have been really amazing, and you always have new techniques for us.
I had so much fun with this stamp and stencil. I really liked it.
I think that looks really cool. What a nice background.
Yeah, that's ready to make a card. That could be anything with blues.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, I mean, this really wasn't Halloween either. I was trying to think of a way. You cat owners probably have lots of ideas.
You cat owners?
I'm a dog person, but the cat people probably have lots of ideas of what they might do with this cat. I only had a couple of ideas.
If there's any cat ladies here.
I really wanted to use the cat. And then I just did the rainbow because I think rainbow is pretty, but the blue turned out really pretty too. That might be a nice winter card.
Yeah, good idea for sure.
Yeah. And you don't have to use, you remember to look through your, I say that to you guys all the time. Remember to look through your stash because you don't have, you've got the chevron in with this stamp, but you don't have to use these two together. You can use other
Thank you
stencils and stamps. You can mix them. You don't have to exclusively do these two. I just did on all these cards because I wanted to show you all the different things that you could do.
Right. And if
with
you buy
one stamp and
one
stencil.
thing, that's $15.99.
Yeah.
Now, Lisa's made a comment, and I was going to say it too.
Yeah.
And you've done this, I know, but can you show how you can spray that now, your stencil, and
Yes.
you can use it on another? Do you
It
have
can
another
be,
card base?
I
Or
can do this. A
So-
second generation. So there is still quite a bit of ink on there. I'm going to move my
Yeah,
other
get your
cards
cards
because they
She's
are
spraying.
water reactive.
So now she's using the top of the stencil. That was inky. And I think you guys will like this too.
Ooh,
See, isn't that neat?
that turned out pretty good too. And that was a second generation. I still have a little bit on there, but if I was making a bunch of cards, I would probably use it, but I'll probably just clean it now. But yeah, I almost like that one better than the first one.
Well, show us, compare again, because the first one I can't, yeah. So it was different though, the way you did it.
Was it?
So she did it each direction, didn't you?
No, I just sprayed this side.
Okay. Well, there's your first and second generation then.
Yeah.
I love how
have
you
to
clean your stuff.
I know. I have
You
to.
guys, Teresa always has a microfiber cloth, and we do
I
sell
do.
those. They're like
Yes.
$2 if you'd like to get one.
This one's actually clean. I
Yeah.
just washed it. It's a little dirty looking, but
yeah, it depends on what you're wiping with it,
Yeah.
I guess.
I'm definitely going to make a card out of this.
Yeah, I think it's pretty neat.
Oh,
let's
I
see.
forgot to say about the teal pumpkins. I was going to say
tell
this.
us about it.
So the reason I made this one was because I just found out that teal pumpkins, if you see a teal pumpkin on someone's, like a jack-o'-lantern, I'm saying pumpkins, but really it's a jack-o'-lantern, that it's supposed to be a safe house for people that have like food allergies and things. And it came across my Instagram and I'm like, is that true? And so then I Googled it and read about it. And I guess it's a thing. So I thought I am going to make a card with a teal pumpkin. So that's why I did that one.
I remember you talking about that, so
Yeah.
I'm glad you didn't forget it.
But I think this one would be I a good winter card. I think those
Mhm.
colors would be good to make a winter card.
Or if those maybe were your team colors, maybe
Oh, yeah.
your team's blue or something.
But it's really
Teresa,
pretty.
we have a couple
Okay.
questions.
Yeah.
One of them, Sandy says that she knows you made a paint palette with the watercolor pencils, and could you show how to do that sometime? I'm like, I'll go get it. I'll go get it so we can understand a
paint
little more. I think your swatch, your color swatch of the watercolor
Oh,
pencils.
yeah,
we have
we
the
have
form you can get. I'll go grab
yeah,
it.
we have a sheet for the oxides too.
Yeah, I'll go. Well, yeah, we should have
I
brought
should
that
have
over.
brought that over.
So I'm gonna go get it. I'll go get those things
Okay.
as we're wrapping up. And then we had a question about, can you mix and blend, say, the 49 and Market inks with the Distress inks? And
Oh,
I don't know about oxides, but the Distress inks are a dye ink. So we're going to
yeah.
go ahead and test it out. We'll have Teresa do that for us, and then you'll know. I'm guessing it'll be fine because they're both dye inks.
I mean, I think you could use the, the 49 and Market inks just like you would the Tim Holtz inks. And I do have some of those as well. And I use them just like I would a Distress ink.
Is it working,
Is that-
Teresa?
I mean, I don't know what.
Looks like they're blending together. So I would say the answer to that is yes.
Yeah,
you
they're
could
both,
mix them.
probably similar. They're both from Ranger, so they're probably
Yeah, and
similar.
it is a different formula, but I think they're very
compositions.
blendable.
Yeah.
Okay, so then Teresa, I went and got this. People were asking, you were mentioning that.
Yeah. Even though I did swatches, I do have one of these too, but I don't know. I like the stamped image, but I did stamp hearts on mine.
Yeah, you've done that before.
Yeah.
And we have those, I think, is it 99 cents? Or
Yeah,
something?
these are 99 cents.
They're printed on a smooth basil cardstock. You can download this yourself from Ranger for free if you want to. We're basically just charging for the cardstock and the printing. So if you want those, it says Distress because you can use that. Oxides are distressed.
Yeah. And it does kind of depend on your paper sometimes, the look that your inks are going to give you.
True. Yeah.
Tim says to make your swatches on paper you use. I just did the smooth ink that we sell here in bulk because I use that a lot. But I also do a lot on watercolor paper, but I didn't want watercolor paper is more expensive and I didn't want to do that.
Well, yeah.
So I didn't. But it's close enough for me to.
And here's okay. And we had a question about the what I
Oh.
don't know really what I'm not sure I'm understanding. Because she said,
Sandy.
I know Teresa made a paint palette with the watercolor pencils. Could you do a demo to show us how? And I don't know that I'm understanding it right, and I'm really sorry. Because now Sandy says I was talking about the Ranger white palette that creates a watercolor set. I'm not sure I understand that 100%.
Are you talking about a stencil or talking about the Ranger white? Oh, Janet says the palette.
Janet is
yes.
on it.
Yes, Janet got it. Okay, Kelly's going to get it. Yeah. So we do have these, which are very handy because it's on one sheet. But
and
the rings are fun too.
And Teresa, I think if you go back to one of your videos with the watercolor pencil, she's done it a few times.
Yes, this is the Yeah, there. Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you, Janet. I'm
Yes, thank you,
sorry. I
Janet.
was just
Yes.
so drawing a blank on that.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry, you guys.
I'm thinking about Distress Inks and
Every
I can't
everybody
transition to
everybody
that.
else knows what she's talking about. Janet did, Jerry did, Denise did. Just not us.
Yeah. So this is the ink palette. So you can use your pencil in here and then dump your shavings into the palette.
So you sharpen it with the pencil
Yes. And so you
sharpener,
can use it as watercolor.
and then you can mist it with water and
Yes.
then let
Yes.
it dry hard. Or you
Yes.
can mix your colors in there
And you
too.
can use the
Oh gosh, that's so funny.
you can use the oxide inks the same way, you know, if you don't have the watercolor pencils. It's just that the watercolor pencils are pure pigment. So these are pigment and distress. So, you know, it's a mix. So you can put your ink right on your mat
craft
there,
mat
on your craft mat.
I also do it on an acrylic block because I have a thing about getting my mat dirty. I know that's
Oh,
weird, but
I know I have a brush somewhere.
do you
I don't know
need
where
me?
it is.
Do you need me to go get a brush?
It's not in there. Where's my watercolor? Let's see if I can find it. It's escaped somehow. Yeah, I guess I don't have a brush. Oh, here's a watercolor brush. I found one, Kelly. This one has water in it. It's a water brush. So, you know, you can watercolor with the paintbrush and your oxide inks, but it's not going to be as vibrant as if you had watercolor shavings from your pigment watercolor pencils.
That's so funny that I'm just so sorry that I was not getting that at
I know,
all.
me too. I was stuck on oxide inks.
Okay.
So now I have to finish this.
All right. Well, I might go ahead and switch the camera
Okay.
while you continue to paint. Teresa's painting. Well,
I
you
started
only
the
have
edge,
one
I have
side.
to
She
finish
only
it.
has one side.
Yeah.
Well, while she's painting, I just want to thank everyone for joining us today and remind you that we have World Card Making Day on
Woohoo,
Saturday.
that'll
We'll
be
have
fun.
some specials and a craft along with the all wrapped up card kit from Simple Stories. And that's from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. here virtually. So you can join us with that if you'd like and make them live or later. And I will tell you that World Card Making Day started in 2006.
Oh my goodness.
And the idea was to come together and get a start on your Christmas cards. So it's changed since then a little bit, but that's kind of, I thought it'd be good to do a Christmas card kit for that. And then also, you guys, on Wednesday, whoops, I got the wrong camera here.
I'm
Let
like,
me switch
you didn't
cameras.
switch cameras, Kelly. You said you
I'm
were
trying.
gonna.
Remember on Wednesday, it's our 24th anniversary. I told my, there's Teresa peeking up over the head.
When you first put it up there, I was like,
There she's peeking over the top. I was telling my mom that it's 24 years, and my mom's like, "Oh, I wish I was 24 years old." But anyway, so we'll be doing that on Wednesday, and so be sure and put your comments out on our Facebook page about how your crafting has changed in the last 24 years.
I know mine has a lot.
Last year on our anniversary, we talked about how you found out about Memory Bound, and we shared that. So this year we're going to talk about how crafting has changed, which is really, really, really a lot.
Yeah.
And then Teresa, before we go, we have somebody that wants to know the white tags that you used again on your swatches.
It was from a Tim Holtz die.
So she die cut those.
I die cut them all out. I watched a football game
and die cut
and
tags?
die cut and did swatch tags. Yes.
And we did mention that you could use these 3-inch tags from Dina Wakely.
Yeah.
There they are.
You could use any size tag that you want.
Okay, that's what Janet said we need to say, and I think we're good to go.
Okay.
Teresa, we'll
Who's
be back
tomorrow? Do you know?
Oh
I
my
don't know. I
gosh,
didn't
tomorrow!
look.
Oh my gosh, you guys, tomorrow Janet is launching her new card kit from
Oh,
Botanical Buzz. So that's what we're doing tomorrow. So join
awesome.
us for that, and we'll be it'd be the first time we've done this. We're going to be kind of in Iowa and also in Texas at the
Okay.
same time, and wherever all of you are.
All right.
So we'll see you then, and uh, we'll see you then, I guess.
Okay.
Whatever.